a lot. This to me, this is probably the most exciting call of the month. It is always the first of the month, and obviously, you guys all know we're going to have the monthly rundown tonight, and we're going to have a lot of exciting announcements. Everybody's promoting for that, building for that. We're all going to be on that. That's obvious. We're going to have our team on that for that's a no brainer. But the biggest thing about this month, and I kind of shared with you a little bit about it last time that we had a meeting like this is right now, this is the time where everybody's going bananas with recruiting because we know that we have Black Friday coming up at the end of the month, right? We know that that's going to be big. We got Cyber Monday coming up right after that. So we always know that this is always the biggest month of the year for everybody. We'll do more business in that, couple days of Black Friday, that timing, than we will in our biggest month. It's always how it goes. And the people right now that understand this, some of you are brand new to Remon. This is your first Black Friday, and a lot of you are probably when Black Friday is over and Cyber Friday is over, which excitingly enough, Cyber Friday is going to be on December. When it's all said and done, some of you are going to say to yourself, "Man, I wish somebody would have told me, man, that how big this was." Right? If I would have known how big Black Friday was, I would have been recruiting my tail off to try to get new people in so I could help them make a lot of money and have a great holiday. So I'm just letting you know right now, Black Friday is the time. It's going to be exciting, and the key is this is something that you want to realize is you don't want to wait for Black Friday. Meaning what, right? This is the time where you want to be getting new people started so they can understand, they can go through the orientation, they can understand how to, start getting a handful of customers, how that customer sign up works, how the new planner signups work. And then obviously we all know everybody wants to be a senior manager before Black Friday, right? I mean, all of our people are going to be running for senior manager like never before. So when Black Friday comes, they can maximize their earning potential, right? We all know that, right? So we know what's going to happen. Even if you're brand new, you can obviously figure out what's going to happen just from understanding, just from a common sense perspective, maybe not from an experience perspective. You're like, okay, I get it, right? This is the month right now where I'm going to be getting a lot of brand new people started. I want to get everybody making sure that they're senior manager before Black Friday. And then on that Black Friday week, we have an unbelievable amount of sales come in and all of our people do really well financially. So we all know what's going to happen. We all know how to take advantage of it. But the biggest thing I want to talk to you today about, because I know some of you are brand new, and I want to kind of have the dialogue that I always try to have with my newer team leaders and help you guys all. Just because a lot of you I know have been around for a while, so you probably have a conversation with your brand new team leaders when you develop a team leader that you have, and maybe some of the things that I share with my team leaders when I have one, you can implement into what you're saying if you like it. You guys go, oh, wow, you know what? That's a pretty good idea. I might have that conversation, that dialogue. But you guys all know how the qualifications work. You guys are all team leaders. But to become a team leader, we all know, right? 10,000 in volume. We understand that over a 5-month period, or, you can do 50,000 in a month or two, whatever you want to do. But typically you're talking about 50,000 over a 5-month period, which translates into roughly about 10,000 a month in SP, right? We all understand that. 3 senior manager legs. We all get that, right? Now, if you do the averages, we all know that that's 10,000 a month, right? So you're talking about, to be a team leader, we all know is about 10,000 a month over a 5-month period. You can do it obviously faster, but understand that the majority of team leaders are about averaging about 10,000 a month, right? And then you go, the next rank advancement is what? Director, right? And director is how much? 600,000, right? 600,000 over a 6-month period. So you're talking about basically going from 10,000 a month to 100,000 a month. So that's a pretty big jump for most people, right? I think everybody would agree with that. Not most people, everybody, right? 10,000, 100,000, any way you shape, that's a big jump. So the most important thing to understand is how do you make that jump, right? How do you make that jump? And that's something that's important because we're all goal oriented individuals, right? Let's make no mistake about it. When you hit team leader, you set yourself apart from everybody else. Okay. You're the top of the top. You're the cream of the crop. You're the best of the best, right? You guys on this call, you're the best that we've got. Everybody knows that. Okay. We all are goal setters. We're all goal hitters, right? We're the type of people, we set a goal to do something, it's done. But what happens is when you're going from a goal of like 10,000 a month to now a goal of 100,000 a month, that's a pretty big increase, right? So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that transition going from, and I know most of you are not doing 10,000 a month. You're doing a lot more than that, but I'm just getting you to understand something. Because I think a lot of times when you become a team leader, you go, okay, what's my goal? Some people say, wait, 100,000 a month. Okay. All right. Well, that's a little bit on the question, right? I just squeezed by maybe 10,000 last month. I don't know if I'm going to go for 100,000 this month. That's not real, doable maybe for me. And then you go, okay, what's the next goal? And then somebody says, well, you got to do 10,000 a month minimum. So some people get into that habit of going, okay, well, then that's my goal. You guys see what happens to people? Your goals typically are 100,000 a month or 10,000 a month, according to the compensation plan, because compensation plans drive behavior. Now I'm going to throw another one out right now that we've got going on. Because right now in the month of November, December, January, we've got what? Right? We got Costa Rica. Okay. Now, what happens if you're a team leader in for Costa Rica qualifications? Okay. If you're in Costa Rica qualifications, if you do 30,000 in volume, what happens to you as a team leader? Open line volume. You get 200 travel points, right? So you double your travel points. If you do your 10,000 monthly minimum, you get what? You get 100 travel points. If you do above and beyond that, 30,000 travel points, what happens to you? You get 200 travel points. So I think a lot of people, we want to make sure that no matter what, you want to make sure that you are running for what? At least 30,000 this month, right? If you did 10,000 last month to qualify for team leader, and a lot of times people do more than the 10,000, but I'm just giving you an example. You want to do 30,000 this month, and somebody says that's a pretty big jump, man. I did 10,000 last month, and I'm giving you a number, right? I know a lot of you guys did a lot more than 10,000, but a lot of times when you just become a team leader, you're going, okay, how do I go from 10,000 a month to 30,000 a month? Well, obviously with Black Friday, it's a no-brainer, but please stick with me on this one. Numbers are just numbers. And I know some of you are like, obviously, Tim, I understand that, but I want to understand what I mean by that. If I talk to 5 people in a week about Riemann, or I talk to 10 people a week about Riemann, really, what's the difference? You guys with me on that? If you can talk to one person about Riemann, you can talk to 5 people about Riemann. It's the same thing. So a lot of times, a lot of goals that we set for ourselves are based upon what we believe that we can do, right? We operate under the of saying, okay, this is what I think I can do. And a lot of times we'll use our past experiences to set our future goals, which that doesn't make any sense, right? Because in order to go somewhere you've never been, you've got to become somebody you've never been, right? So you've got to make set the kind of goals that are going to make you stretch, make you change, make you grow. You guys see that? Like, you want to set the kind of goals that are going to make you step up. So we've got to have big goals first off, number one, right? So when I'm teaching people how to become director, right? When I open up a new line of business, what do I want to do with that leg? I don't want a team leader leg, right? I want a what? I want a director leg. Do you guys see that? Like, I want to help them make as much money as possible. And then I want to get them to what? Senior director. Why? Because if they're senior director, they're making a lot more money. And then I want to help them get to national director. So the higher I can make them grow, the more the income that they can make. And as a result of that, my income gets to go up too, right? Because my only thing I focus on in this compensation plan is check match and unilevel, right? I don't think about open line volume, because that'll take care of itself. If I'm building check matches and I'm building my unilevel, I'm always building open line, grabbing a new person, blowing them up, turning them into a director, right? You always want to have somebody you're working with. But understand, how do you go from team leader to director? Because that's a big jump. Okay? Well, think about this. If you're developing other team leaders along the way, right, and setting them up for success and helping them become successful and helping them reach, stretch, change, grow, and becoming their biggest cheerleader, what's going to happen is, if you duplicate yourself, if let's say I'm averaging 30,000 a month, okay, and I develop 5 people that are averaging 30,000 a month, right? What is that? What is, you know what I mean? What is 5 times 30,000? That's 150,000 a month, right? Okay, Scott, you can tell me if I'm wrong. I know Scott's the smartest guy I know. But it's like we're talking about duplication. You guys see that, what I'm saying? So it's all about duplication, and understand that duplication might take you a little bit of time. Some of you might pick it up early, but understand, don't get caught up in where you are right now and think that that's all there is, right? Once you master some skills like a duplication skill set, holy smokes, what happens? You know what I mean? Like, your organization will take off, right? Because that's a skill set. It's kind of like whenever you learn how to do a pop-up, right? It's like, what happened to your business, right? Or whenever you learn how to do an opportunity presentation, how much did that affect your business? Like, every skill that you develop in Riemann takes your business to a next level, okay? And if your organization is not perpetually growing like crazy, it's because you haven't developed the skill set of a duplication yet. Once you develop that skill set of duplication, your organization will perpetuate. So just realize, a lot of you are just one skill set away from having a brand new business. Okay, you're one skill set away. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that today, but I wanted to first start off by talking about this month's going to be a big month, okay? Because we're going to have Black Friday in this month, and then we're going to have Cyber Monday to be able to start December off. So we know that this is going to be a big month, and we're going to start December really strong. And then we're going to have last day to buy products before shipping ends, right? So we're going to have a couple impending events that are really going to drive behavior. Some of the biggest impending events that we have in Remont are coming up, okay? But how you take advantage of them is you don't wait for those impending events and then take action. How do you take advantage of those events? How do you take advantage of the impending events we've got? Now, right now. Like my urgency right now is through the roof to get new people started. That's the game plan for me right now, is get as many brand new people started as I possibly can this month right now, help them become senior manager before what? Before Black Friday bonanza happens. And then what? Now I'm set. But a lot of people will wait till Black Friday and start recruiting. Think about the logic behind that. What would be smarter? Would it be smarter to recruit now so people know how to sign up customers? Or would it be smarter to wait till Black Friday until you get whipped into a frenzy and then start recruiting? It's obvious, right? You guys can understand that. So just understanding about what's about to happen with Black Friday, understand how to take advantage of it. And you want to be looking right now at who do I have in my organization that needs to be a senior manager, okay? Right? And we want to be working with them to do what? Become a senior manager, okay? Because the only thing that I really focus on in my business when I wake up in the morning is who can I get to senior manager? Who can I get to senior manager? Who can I get to senior manager? The most important thing you'll ever do in Remont, okay, I can tell you right now, if you're in it to become successful financially and help other people become successful financially, is mastering taking a brand new planner to senior manager. You guys catch that? You all know this, right? We talk about it in every one of our orientation trainings, right? The most important skill set that you'll ever, if you master that skill set, can have the greatest impact on your success is your ability when a planner comes into your organization to do what? Get them to senior manager. And if you streamline your focus on just doing that, your organization will take off. Now, I know what some of you are saying. No, Tim, you're wrong. It's all about pop-ups. No, Tim, you're all wrong. It's all about orientations. No, it's all about opportunity presentations. You understand what I'm saying? That's the how. I'm not talking about how. I'm talking about what? Why? It's not what we do. It's why we do what we do. Some people are like, I like doing this. I like doing that. It doesn't matter what your favorite thing to do is, right? It's like, do I like pizza or hamburgers, right? Or do I like salad with this dressing or that? That doesn't matter. Why are we ordering food? Because if we don't eat, we perish. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? So it's not what we order, it's why we order it. It's not what the focus is. It's not the how to, it's the why to. If a brand new person comes in, I'm like, okay, we got to set up your first pop-up. The heck are you talking about, bro? What is that? But if I say, look, all we got to do right now is your number one focus is what? Getting you to senior manager. The most important story you'll ever have in your Remont career is going to be your planner to senior manager story, okay? And then what you want to do is inject them with some confidence, okay? Right? You want to say like, look, the thing that I'm really good at doing, everybody knows I'm really good at getting people to senior manager, okay? This is what you guys need to be saying. Okay. And you were like, I'm not really that good at it. Well, speak it into existence. Okay. I'm really good at getting brand new people to senior manager. And that's the number one focus. So if you do a really good job of getting somebody whipped into a frenzy about doing what? Becoming a senior manager, which that's the number one focus. Then they're going to ask what? Now they're like, okay, I want to become a senior manager. Let's say you want to become a director. You want to become a senior director. You want to become a national director, right? Whatever rank you are and you want to go to the next one. And let's say you could quantify that and you could measure that. And let's say that that's a 10 out of a 10. If you're a 10 out of a 10 for that, what needs to be your focus? Helping brand new people be a 10 out of 10 for senior manager. You've got to be able to take what your desire is and prescribe what they need to prescribe. They don't need a prescription for becoming a director when they're brand new. Now you want to talk about, we're going to get you to director. Okay. I'm going to make sure that no matter what, we get you director. I'd like to do it by the next convention, but it'll probably be 2 after that. It'll be the next one. Obviously, how are we going to do that? We're going to get you to team leader. But how do we get you to team leader? Most important thing is creating that senior manager story. Okay, we're going to create that amazing senior manager story. You guys see what we're doing? So when you really focus in, like never before, on creating senior managers, now they're going to want to have the pop-up. Do you guys see that? Now they're going to want to get you in front of their prospects. If the why is strong, the how is no problem. You guys see that? But if all you're talking about is how and not why, it's not what we want, right? We want them to have a pop-up. It's not what we want. It's why we want what we want. The why is going to drive them. And if they're fired up like never before, I can promise you right now, if your organization is not growing like wildfire through a dry brush field, I promise you, We're not, if anybody's having that experience, it's because we're not focusing enough on creating senior managers with new people. And I know some of you are like, Tim, I'm maxed out on that. I can't do it anymore. I promise you've got more in the tank on that. Because if your organization, if you got a, let's say you've got a, let's say a 50%, right? If you have 10 people come in and 5 of them hit senior manager, boom, your organization is perpetuating, right? And the next month you have 20 people come in that month and 10 of them go senior manager. Your organization is perpetuating like never before. It's growing like wildfire, like through a dry brush field. I promise you, okay? If I ever my career in the last 30 years, if ever wanted my volume to go up, if it ever levels off, if it ever like plateaus, I already know what the issue is. I don't even have to even think about it for 1 second. I already know what it is. We're not focusing enough on getting people to the first earn rank. Whatever I'm doing, it doesn't matter. I know the answer to the equation, right? Because my mentor taught me this a long time ago. And I promise you right now, if you want your organization to triple, quadruple, and you want to become a director by the convention, and I know some of you right now, maybe you've been averaging like 10,000 a month for the last 3 months. You're like, there's no way I can do it by convention. Well, what happens if you run for it and you fall short? You're going to be better than if you didn't run at all. Common sense tells us that. And then you're going to take the volume and the momentum from the convention and you're going to roll it into becoming a director. It's better to run and to miss than to not run at all and than to miss by default. Okay. So understand, let's streamline our focus. Every brand new person comes in. What do we want to be focusing on? Getting them to what? Senior manager. Okay. And if you could measure yourself on that focus that you think you have, and let's say you think it's a 10 out of a 10. Tim, that's my number one focus, man. I'm telling you what, I can't get any better at that. Okay. I'm going to challenge you to say that what would happen now if you had that focus and you think it's a 10 out of a 10, what if it's really a 5 out of a 10? What would doubling that focus look like? And I can promise you right now, easiest way to become a national director, easiest way to become a senior director, easiest way to become a director, focus on creating senior managers. Hardest way to hit one of those ranks, focus on hitting one of those ranks. Trying to hit one of those ranks is so hard if you're just focusing on trying to do activity and trying to crush numbers, because it's easy to run with people that are running with you. It's hard to get people to do something if they don't have a reason to. Do you guys get what I'm saying? If everybody is so focused in on senior manager in your organization when they get started and they're running for that rank, your volume is going to go bananas. Just do the math on it, man. Let's just say that you're creating, let's just say that you're averaging 10 new senior managers a month in your open line volume. Every month, you got 10 new people hitting senior manager. Think about that. And if you did that consistently over a 3-month period, you know how much volume you're doing. You're probably doing about, obviously numbers wise, you're doing what, right? You know what I mean? You're doing, okay, well, I'm doing 60,000 a month in volume, Tim. No, you're not. Not even close. You're probably pushing more to 120,000 a month. You know what I mean? Like I can look at all my team leaders last month that pushed, you know what I mean? If somebody in my organization pushed 10 senior managers, I guarantee you they did 120, 150,000 in open line volume. You guys see what I'm saying? Because you're going to have other stuff cooking, right? If you streamline your focus, if you look at how many senior managers you created last month, and then you look at how much volume you did, I promise you, if you can streamline that focus, because new people, when they get started, what do they want to do? They want to have success. But if we jump into the how to and not the why to, we're not going to get them to engage. So I'll spend 20 minutes with somebody getting them so fired up like they've never been fired up before about becoming a senior manager. And how do I do that? Not by getting them all jacked up and being crazy. You guys all know I can do that stuff. That doesn't help a brand new person in a conversation. It's a story. It's a story. I'm just a good storyteller. It's like when I got started in Remont. It's like, I got started in Remont just like we all did. And I hit senior manager just like we all did. You guys see what I'm saying? It's like, and I just tell that story. And I tell that story every day, all the time, nonstop. And that's the most important story I tell because that's going to relate to the newest person. I didn't understand a comp plan. I didn't understand anything other than what? We had some amazing products. My friend was going to become wealthy and I didn't want to watch him become wealthy and me miss out. And I said to myself, this is the greatest thing I've never seen anything like this. So it's like, what do I need to do? And Danny just said, all you got to do is become a senior manager. And I said, to me, that's all that matters is if I can just get to senior manager and then I can teach people to do what I just did, I'll go all the way to the top of the comp line. When we hit director, I didn't even know it. I didn't even know it. Danny called me and said, hey bro, you just hit director. I said, what is that? I don't even know what that means. I had no idea. Honestly, I had no idea what director was. We were like, I don't know. We were probably like 2 months into the business and we were just running around, just freaking excited, getting people to senior manager, senior manager, senior manager, senior manager, senior manager. You know what I mean? Like just focus in on the new people. If you focus in on the new people and create massive success with your new people, and if your organization is kind of stalemated right now, go get somebody started and do what? Get them a senior manager, right? You build this business brick by brick, right? You build this business inch by inch. So I promise you, you can step up your senior manager game, okay? But let's talk about it, right? We want to have goals this month. If you're a team leader right now, what's your goal? Okay, you got to start every month with a goal, okay? And it's not just like open line volume, okay? And then you want to have a strategy for becoming a director, okay? You want to have a strategy that you're becoming a director, okay? And how do you do that, right? Is your organization grows, right? Your organization grows. So look at what the volume you did last month, okay? Whatever that number is, it doesn't matter, right? And then what you want to focus in on doing is doubling it, right? Doubling it. Now, if let's say let's say last month you only did 10,000 in volume, what do you want to do? You want to triple it. You want to 30,000 because that can get you excited. Costa Rica and seeing monkeys and trees can get you excited, right? So what do we want to do? Minimum do 30,000 this month. Why? That's going to double your you know what I mean? Points. You're going to, instead of getting 100, you're going to get what? 200. So everybody should be running for 30,000. So how would I do 30? Somebody said, Tim, how would you do 30,000, right? How would you do that? What I would try to do is get it done before Black Friday. Okay. So I would be looking at who do I have in my organization that's, I always try to drive my volume through compensation plan. Do you guys see what I'm saying? I don't try to drive my volume, just be like, all right, I'm just going to get fired up and go do a bunch of volume. That doesn't equate. I let the compensation plan drive the behavior. So I'm going to look at my organization. I'm going to say to myself, who do I have right now that can become a team elite, that needs to become a senior manager? Okay. And then I go, who in my organization is a senior manager do I need to whip into a frenzy about becoming a team leader? You guys got to realize, some of you guys that are team leaders are like, well, if it's open line volume, I make more money. You're missing the boat. The money's involved in developing leaders. Do you guys see that? Like, yeah, obviously, if all my organization's volume was open line team leader, yeah, I would make a lot more money, but it would be less money paid out. Check out what I'm saying to you guys. I need you guys to wrap your head around this, because new team leaders, they look at the comp and said, why would I want to create a team leader? Seems like I would go from 100% to 40%. It's more money getting paid out to you and your team. All that matters is money getting paid out. You understand? If I did a certain, like the amount of volume that I did last month, if it was all team leader open line, yeah, guess what? I would make more money. But my team wouldn't make more money. And it'd be less payout to me and my organization. You're looking for the most amount of percentage of payout to your organization. So you're trying to develop as many leaders as possible so more payout comes in. You understand? If let's say Scott signs me up and Scott's making 100, open line volume on me, and I'm a senior manager, and he's making 100%, and I'm not a team leader. As soon as I become a team leader, I'm making 100%, but he's still getting 40% of what he was earning on me before. Would Scott rather me make a lot of money, get excited, and run hard and become here for life, or just be like, dude, I've been working for a long time and my check's not going through the roof? I want my people to make as much money as possible. And I'm not trying to get a lot. I'm just trying to get a small percentage. McDonald's is not successful because they're like, all right, dude, we want to make all the money. We want all of it, dude. Like, no, Ray Kroc wasn't trying to make all the money. He wanted the operators of each individual McDonald's that bought the franchise to make a great money. He just wanted to get a little bit. I'd rather get 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own efforts. Come on, guys. We've all heard that. It's all about developing team leaders. So I'm looking at, who do I have right now that's a what? That's not a senior manager. And what am I doing? Taking them to senior manager. Who do I have right now that's a senior manager and they're running for team leader? I'm running with them to get to team leader. And who do I have that's a team leader that doesn't have their 10 legs of senior managers yet? You guys see that? If you got team leaders that only have like 3 or 4 legs of senior managers, whoa, they're not really, in my mind, they're not really a team leader. Like I tell people, if you don't have 10 legs of senior managers, you might be a team leader on paper, but you're not going to make the big bucks. Do you guys see that? Like, to me, it's like, I would rather be a rich team leader than any, I mean, it's like that's where the money's at, right? And if you're building 10 legs, you're running and you're having a lot of people succeed. So you're looking in your organization at what you've got, and you understand, hey, look, this is where I'm going to pull my volume from. Okay, this is where I'm going to get my volume from. And now, if I've got 5 people that are running, if I've got 5 people in my organization, not senior managers, I already know how much volume I'm going to get from them, because I'm going to get them to senior manager before what? Black Friday. You guys see that? So you use impending events to drive your volume. You use impending events. Impending events are what, right? Something that's going to cause somebody to take action today that they normally wouldn't take. So we want to have our goals this month. What's your goal for brand new recruits? Like, how many new recruits are you going to get this month? Let's say it's only 2 or 3 or 5 or whatever that number is. It doesn't matter. But the question is when do you want to get them? When would be the best time to recruit a new person? Would it be a good idea to do it like 2 days before Black Friday or do it now? You see what I mean? Like, we already know the answer to that. So let's say I'm going to recruit 2 new people to this month or 5 new people this month. I want to do it now. Right? And then what do you want to do? Right? You just got to look in your organization and find out where it's at. And if there's not a lot cooking, boom, go start a new line. Go start 2 new lines, start 3 new lines. You can start as many lines as you want. The biggest thing is you can do as much volume as you want to do in Remon. There's no limit to how much volume you're allowed to do. And somebody goes, well, how do I do more volume? You get more help. It's like, we're allowed to get as many people to help us as possible. You see what I mean? Like, we're allowed to get as many people to help us as possible. So how do you get people to help you? We go recruit some new people and do what? Help them go senior manager, maximize their income, help them make big checks and get them running for team leader. Okay. And then we develop a team leader. So you got to realize the development process takes a little bit time. It's a little bit longer of a time than just signing somebody up, right? You know, there's a waiter term, right? There's a waiter term in our industry that sometimes is used in other industries, right? Is like turn 'em and burn 'em. You know, like a turn 'em and burn 'em situation is when you go into a restaurant and somebody just wants to get you in and get you out. And they're thinking if they're a waiter, they don't care about blowing you away with service. They're probably like, look, I'm going to probably get a 10% commission on this person, right? That's probably what's up. So maybe I might get a 15% tip. I don't know. But I'm just going to turn them and burn them, get them in and get them out of here, pump them in, pump them out, get them out of here and get somebody else in that chair that I've got. And that's how some waiters think. And then some waiters are like, what? I'm going to blow them away with service. I'm going to blow them away with service, right? And I want them to walk away and say, you know what? That might have been the greatest waiter or waitress we've ever had. And I think I want to give them a giant tip. Do you guys see what I'm saying? So they understand the difference, right? Is I'm not trying to turn and burn people, right? I'm trying to blow people away and get them to have massive success in Remon. And how do you do that, right? Sometimes you just got to spend a little bit more time connecting with your newer people. Somebody comes in and you're the upline team leader, you make the money. You understand? If you sign up a brand new planner, they make 10%, you make 30. If they sign up a brand new planner just off the differential, you're making 25, right? Their sponsor makes 5. Who do you think should be doing all the work? Like, just common sense when you look at the comp plan tells you that you should be doing all the work as a team leader, right? If they sign up somebody, right, you're making 25%, their sponsor makes 5%. He's a brand new planner. You know what I mean? Like, you guys see what I'm saying? So we're making the big money, right? As a team leader, that's where the money's at in the comp plan. So what do we want to be doing, right? We want to be accepting responsibility for everybody in our open line that we possibly can. And we want to be training and duplicating the people in our organization so they can see what it is that we're doing. And we're launching everybody and selling them on becoming a senior manager and then getting them to senior manager, right? So we know how to do it. We all became a senior manager. We all have developed senior managers. If you can develop 3 senior managers, can you develop 10 senior managers? It's the same thing, right? So biggest thing I want you guys to think about today more than anything else is to make a decision that this month's going to be your breakthrough month. Okay, that's the biggest thing. We've got to decide right now that this is going to be our breakthrough month because we've got Black Friday happening. That's going to slingshot momentum. Okay, we've got and somebody goes, how do I take advantage of Black Friday? First thing you got to do is you got to get excited about everything. I'm going to tell you guys something that'll help you guys. It might sting some of you guys. So if you're sensitive, you might want to cover your ears. Okay, but when you're brand new and you get on those calls, you're jacked. You're getting all your brand new people on. You're like, oh my God, it's an orientation. This is crazy, dude. Like, you're just excited about everything. And then what happens is you've been in for like 3 months and then you stop getting excited about it. But you get what I'm saying? Who are the calls for designed primarily for? New people. Who's the most important people in our business? New people. New people take action if we do what? Promote. You guys all know P.T. Barnum, right? Barnum and Bailey. We've all heard of him. One of my favorite quotes of all time in the history of quotes. P.T. Barnum says this. He says, without promoting, something terrible happens. Nothing. That's what he says. Without promoting, something terrible happens. Nothing. You understand? Like, when I get a brand new person started, I'm getting them so jacked out of their mind and excited, like whipped into a frenzy about the call that's coming up. Because I tell them, like, if I get a brand new person started, let's say I get Kenneth, started right here. I'm like, Kenneth, look, as sharp as you are, bro, you're probably not going to need, it's probably not going to take you 3 months to do what most people do. Most people, when they get started, they're like you, they're smart, they get it. They're like, look, I need to get on as many of these calls as possible, right? Because I need to figure out how to be able to get the right language down so I can duplicate fast, so I can be a leader, right? That's how most people, that's how everybody thinks, right? You're sharp though. It'll probably only take you like probably 3 or 4 weeks of getting on every call that you possibly can to get the language down, right? So you can duplicate this business fast. Like, and the reason why I say this, that's what I did. All I did was jumped on calls and I listened to Karen, I listened to Steve, I listened to, Scott, I listened to all the leaders that were in already. And all I was trying to do is pick up their language. Right. And I'm hearing Steve, I'm like, he's like Halasan volcano, 400,000 years. I'm like, boom, I got to get that. Right. He's like Jeju Do. I'm like, ooh, Do. Oh, Do, that's a next level. I don't even know what that means. Right. So I'm just writing down this stuff. And then what am I doing? I'm just regurgitating it. Do you guys see what I'm saying? Because I don't need to reinvent the wheel. I don't need to say something different than what other people are saying. So many people are like, okay, in order for me to pass everybody up, I got to do something different. And I'm like, no, to pass everybody up, you don't have to do something different. If you want to become successful in Remon and you want to be one of the big players, you don't need to change what you're saying. You just need to say it to more people. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Like, I just talk to more people. Like every day, it's like my schedule's like, I just talk to more people because I know the magic and the miracle of Remon is in my mouth, right? How the wealth of Remon is in your 2 lips that are already paid for. All you gotta do is flap them. You guys see that? So what I'm telling you is all you've got to do when a brand new person comes in, you've got to get them sold on what? Getting on those initial calls. And what I do is I'll compliment them. Like most people it takes them like maybe 3 months to get on the calls to duplicate it. But as sharp as you are, Kenneth, it's not going to take you 3 months, man. Like it'll probably take you like 4 weeks, probably as sharp as you are, 3 weeks. Because what happens if somebody gets on the calls consistently for 3 or 4 weeks? Now they're in the habit of doing what? Getting on the Zooms. And now they have what? New people started. But if you're like, and you've been in for like 3 years in Remon, you're just like, or 2.5 years, you're just like, yeah, they do Zooms on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I kind of like tell you about it. All right, we gotta have a pop-up. Like you see what I mean? Like, you gotta be, I know nobody's that bad, but what I'm telling you guys is you gotta understand my point. Is you gotta don't be lazy with your language, Jim Rohn says, right? Don't be lazy with your language. Be over the top with your promoting skills and driving people into action. That's all I need you guys to understand more than anything, because it's all about getting our new people in, getting them to senior manager. Man, I always say, when's the most important time in a brand new baby's life? You guys see what I'm saying? Most of you are parents, like, hello, you know what I mean? It's not like you have a baby and you're like, all right, man, let's go have dinner and then we'll come back and check on this little baby. No, like we're like, whoa. You know what I mean? We're doing all this stuff, checking all this stuff. They're just doing, I don't know what they're doing. I'm not a doctor or nurse, but they're doing all this stuff, right? So that's the same thing with new people. We've got to be over the top so we can get them to what? Senior manager. You turn your organization into a senior manager factory, your organization will perpetuate like never before. And I promise you this, everybody goes through it in their career, okay? You'll focus in on senior manager, you laser your focus. And that's what drives the system. You understand? The focus on why. People are like, no. We're supposed to focus on orientation, training, and pop-ups. That's the system. Yeah, that's the system. But why do you do it? If you sell people on senior manager, right, by buying into it, that's what's going to drive them to do the why. It's the what. The what's going to be driven by the why. So if we do a really good job of getting people excited like never before about becoming senior manager, your organization will perpetuate. And I know some of you are like, Tim, I get this already. I promise you there's more that you can get on this. I promise you. Because if you got it right now, you'd be a national director. Because that's how you just perpetuate like crazy, is you literally streamline your focus. You guys see that? That's it. And I'm telling you, there's more to it. I guarantee. I'm like, Tim, I get it, dude. I understand. I've heard this so many times. Stop talking about it. This is by far the most important thing. Brand new people, senior manager. 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 And you keep on focusing in on that, and your organization will perpetuate. It'll grow like wildfire. Okay, that's it, right? So understand, we've got to set big goals this month. Everybody should be running for 30,000. Okay, because we already know this month is going to be what? It's going to be nuts because of Black Friday. But please understand, now is the time to take action like never before. Everybody right now is running to get new people started right now, right? Because we need to get them started and get them trained up and get them as at least a manager, if not senior manager, by Black Friday. You guys see that? So they can maximize their earning potential, okay? We've got to understand this is it. Like this is our Super Bowl, right? I know we've got some Canadians on here. This is our Stanley Cup. Okay. This is our Stanley Cup. This is our World Series. Okay. This is our World Series. This is our whatever. This is our Olympics of making money right now. Black Friday is. Okay. But we have to know what to do prior, what to do during, and what to do after. What do we do before? Recruit like crazy. Get everybody senior manager. What do we do during? We execute, right? Leading up that week we want to have every night a pop-up scheduled. Okay. All right. We want to have pop-up scheduled every night on Black Friday week. Okay. Trust me on that. Okay. And then what do we do after? After we understand that all that volume that rushes in, people have 5 months to capture it. Do you guys see that? So whatever volume we do this month is going to take care of us for the next 4 months. We all understand that. This month is going to be huge volume for everybody, and then they're going to be able to chase it for 4 months. 4 months they can chase that volume to hit team leader. When's our convention, right? November volume. Then we got December, January, into February. So we go bananas this month with our brand new people. Okay, we get everybody running hard right now. And then we've got until the convention to take cash in on this volume. That's the beautiful thing about this business, about Remon, is when you have a big giant month like we're all going to have right now, you get to catch that volume for the next 4 months. So you got to get everybody to understand coming out of Black Friday is, look, this is going to be inflated numbers. Okay, these are going to be inflated numbers, way inflated. Okay, this is like the Balco era in baseball. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? This is, you know what I mean? Everybody's hitting 70 dingers. You know what I mean? Like, what? So it's like, only like 4 guys know what I'm talking about. Women are like, what? But it's like, this is back when everybody's hitting home runs in baseball like crazy. This is that time. But you get to take advantage of it for the next 4 months. So people get to catch that volume. So if somebody does like 15,000 in volume, they still get to catch that volume for the next, what? Right? 4 months, but we really want to do it within 3 months so they can walk on stage at the what? Convention. Do you guys see that? Right? We want them to walk on stage at convention. So we're going to have so many impending events coming up because we have the Long Beach Convention right around the corner. But we've got to understand how to utilize and take advantage of it, and how to take advantage of it and maximize it. Maximize it with Black Friday. Okay? Understanding how to build into it, how to build out of it. What do we do after? Right? What do we do after? Making sure everybody understands that they have time to catch all that volume. So right now is the time, even if somebody only does 10,000 in volume, all right, if a senior manager only does 10,000 in volume that month, that week, a Black Friday, that's still great, because all we got to do is keep on keeping on and help them understand we've got 4 months to get you to team leader. And you're going to be able to, if you get your senior managers to hit good volume this month, you're going to continue to get good volume out of them for the next 4 months. Do you guys understand why? You guys see that, right? So you got to understand the psychology. I know a lot of you guys, when you hear me talk and stuff like that, you're like, this guy literally is just stupid and just is this crazy excited guy, right? This is very true. But network marketing, I get. You guys see that? Like, I understand this, and I understand that you've got to have your plan. Okay, your plan has got to be combined with what's going on in the outside environment, like Black Friday and conventions and impending events and the call tonight. The call tonight is going to be huge. Okay, the call tonight is going to be huge. And I know some of you are like, all right, I'll send out a message. You got to learn how to become a promoter, not an announcer. You guys know what a promoter is? Like Floyd Mayweather. Everybody's like, dude, that guy's the most paid boxer of all time in the history of sports. Oh, yeah, he made a lot of money boxing, but he made a lot more money promoting. You guys see that? That's where he makes his money at, promoting. Promoting is where the money's at. The guy, the announcer, you guys know Michael Buffer? Let's get ready to rumble. That's an announcer. That guy doesn't make the type of money Floyd Mayweather makes. You guys see that? You make more money promoting than announcing. Okay? When it's an important call, you send out voice reminders. You guys see what I'm saying? Mainly if you've only got like 20 active people on your team or 50 active people on your team, or who are the lines that you're building right now. Send out a voice reminder. You know what I mean? Like, you're just like, boom, hit a voice reminder. Hey, Anna, what's going on? Look, I wanted to let you know that we've got this call tonight's going to be critical. Like, everybody right now is so excited about this call tonight. This is going to be probably the most important rundown we've ever had. And the reason why is because this is the Black Friday month. Like, this time everybody's running. So you want to make sure no matter what that you cancel your plans, clear your plans to get on. You understand? When you guys tell people to clear their plans to get on this call, do you guys understand what happens? A lot of you are like, I'm not going to do that. What if they have work? I don't want to get people fired. You're missing the boat. You tell people to cancel their plans. Why? If they can't, they won't. But they're going to know that it's serious. And then guess what they're going to watch? They're going to watch the recording, aren't they? You see what I'm saying? If you tell somebody, look, whatever you got going on, you want to cancel it. That's how I recruit people, man. Whatever you got going on, you want to cancel, man. We got to get together tonight, man. If we can't get together over at my house or your house, bro, jump on a Zoom with me. We got to talk tonight, man. Whatever you got going on later tonight, man, cancel. We got to meet. That's the language that I always use. And if they're like, dude, I can't. I'm literally, you know what I mean? I'm working a graveyard shift. I can't leave or whatever. It's like, all right, man. Well, hopefully we have time, man. And I might be able to connect with you later, man. But I got too much going on. And then I just take it away. But I always use super urgency. Why? So people know I'm not playing. Do you guys see that? I want people to know that I'm not playing around. If I'm like, oh, whenever you got time later, like whatever, this week sometime, maybe like whatever, we could just kind of like maybe hook up or whatever. Do you guys see how there's no language here? That's not urgent. You know what I mean? I'm telling you guys how I do it. When I share with you information, you can take it or not take it. It doesn't matter to me. I'm just sharing with you insights on how I do it. And you can go, that's not my personality. I'm not doing it. That's fine. I'm just telling you what I do and why I do it. Because I don't care if people cancel their plans or not, but what do I care about? Them knowing that this is dead serious. Dead serious. So then when they look at it with a different set of eyes. They look at it with a different set of ears. You see that? Because they know this is serious. I never say that to them, right? I've got relationship with people for 30, 40 years. I've never told them, hey, whatever you got going on, you got to cancel it. They're like, whoa, something's going on. We got to at least jump on a Zoom, man, tonight, like or something. We got to connect. So all I'm telling you guys is this, is senior manager, and we want to be cracking as many senior managers as we can before what? Before Black Friday week. And then Black Friday week, we want to do as much volume as we can. Okay, so it's what do you do before? What do you do during? What do you do after? That's always what you got to focus on when you're coming up with the game plan yourself. Okay, when I'm looking at anything, whether it's a convention, whether it's a whatever, what I do before, what I do during, what I do after. After, make sure everybody understands out of all the volume they did, they get to carry forward that volume for the next 5 months. So this is the time to run for team leader. And you've got 4 more months to take advantage of it, right? November, December, January, February, right? March. But the reality is we want to do it before February because you're that good. Let's get it all done before the end of February so you can walk on stage at that convention no matter what. So I just want you guys to get some perspective on how to utilize what's happening around you, your environment, the external things that you can't control but you can take advantage of, and how to understand, like, going into it, what to do right now, no matter what. Black Friday's coming. And when I think of Black Friday, like month right now, November, you guys remember there's a guy named Paul Revere. Any of you guys have followed American history? You guys remember this dude? This dude, Paul Revere. Some of you guys have no idea about American history because maybe this is like, you're new to the country or whatever, and you didn't have to study this stuff. Lucky you. But I'm just kidding. Some of you are like history buffs. Don't stand. I just love history. But there was this dude named Paul Revere. Apparently, who knows if this is true or not. But whenever there was a Revolutionary War, I wasn't there. That's why I say if it's true or not, I wasn't there. But from what we were told or what we heard, this dude jumped on a horse, okay? And when we got into the Revolutionary War with Britain, right? And this guy ran around and he was like, he just ran around all of the colonies going, the British are coming, the British are coming, the British are coming, the British are coming. And he just ran around on his horse. I don't know if it sounds crazy, but Paul Revere rode around on his horse telling everybody the British are coming, the British are coming, the British are coming, the British are coming. That's how I feel about Black Friday. You want to be like that. You want to be the Paul Revere of Black Friday, or the Paulette Revere of Black Friday, right? You know what I mean? Like, I'm the Paulette Revere riding around on your horse. Black Friday is coming, Black Friday is coming, Black Friday is coming. Like every conversation, every dialogue you have, everything, and combine Black Friday into it. Okay. Every conversation, it needs to be Black Friday's coming. This is what we got going on. I need to get together with you. We need to talk today because Black Friday's coming, Black Friday's coming, Black Friday's coming, Black Friday's coming. Literally be the Paulette Revere riding around on your horse, telling everybody Black Friday's coming, Black Friday's coming, Black Friday's coming, because this is our time. So with that being said, I'm gonna get the call off a little bit early. I know a lot of you got a busy schedule, but here's the deal, man. I just want you guys to realize, hopefully some of this information is valuable. Realize you don't need 100 good ideas. You guys are already team leaders. You just need 1 or 2 good ideas and a series of good ideas to ignite your momentum. So all we've got to do is right now is understand this is it, right? This is our time. This is our chance. Black Friday, November to remember, baby. This is it. This is our time. This is our chance. Make up in your mind right now that says, I'm going to the top, right? I'm going to the top. I'm going to run and I'm going to give director everything I got by that Long Beach convention. Promise you this. If you run hard between now and the convention, and not run hard by yourself like a wild person, but run hard by getting all your team running for what? Senior manager, to be a senior manager, senior manager, senior manager, senior manager. Okay, guess what? Okay, and I'm gonna tell you right now, if we have that attitude, that mindset right now, we're going hard right now. We're gonna make it happen. This is it. This is our time. Okay, and we're gonna focus in and get whipped into a frenzy. And if, let's say, you fall short, I know some of you are like, I don't want to fail. I don't want to fail. The only way to fail is to not try, right? The only way to fail, you'll fail by default if you don't run for it. You guys see that? You don't get to the top of Mount Everest and be like, I have no idea how I got here, man. I was just walking and I saw this hill and I just started climbing, and sure enough, I got up here to the top. This is wild. It doesn't happen like that. You have to say, man, I'm going to the top of Mount Everest. Right now, I'm telling you, how many people have tried to go to Mount Everest, and for whatever outside circumstances, they had to turn back. Many people, they had to turn back. They didn't make it. But then guess what they did? They tried again, and they tried again, and they tried again, and they tried again, and they made it. But I guarantee you, if you don't try to climb Mount Everest, you ain't going to climb it. If you don't run for a director, I promise you, you ain't going to become a director by convention. You've got to have a clear mind and a vision to say, I'm going to make it happen no matter what. Over, under, or through. I'm going to get the job done. Okay? This is it. Well, I know what to do right now. Okay? I'm going to make a list of everybody I have right now. And if you got people right now that are not really too active, how do you get them to senior manager? We get one more nugget of insight. All you do is you just call them up and say, man, I want to apologize to you. It is my fault. I dropped the ball. Oh my goodness. I just got off a leadership call with the top people in the company. If I would have known what I learned today, you'd probably be making about at least $4,000 or $5,000 a month. And if I knew this information, you'd be making so much more money. I want to tell you that I really apologize for not knowing what I know now. But it's my fault. You're not making more money, but I'm going to make it up to you, and I'm going to run with you right now, and we're going to get you going, and we're going to get you making some serious money. If you tell people it's your fault, then they're going to want to accept responsibility too. But if you just call somebody and say, hey man, when are you going to get off your butt and start working? That's not going to work. I just call people and I apologize to them. It's my fault. I let you down. And then they're like, what? You didn't let me down. You know what I mean? So understand, like, if you try to take the responsibility, right? You try to take the responsibility, they're going to try to take the responsibility. But if you try to point the finger, they're going to try to point the finger. So just take the responsibility, and you can get some people engaged. Now, I'm not telling you to, hey, make a list and let's go resurrect the dead. What I am saying is it might be worth reaching out to a couple people, because Black Friday's coming and I'm sure they all want to make more money for Christmas. Do you guys see that? So let's give it everything that we got right now. This is our time and our chance. It's time to run, man. This is our time to step out, right? And to step up and to give it everything that we got. Okay. This is our time, our chance. This is it. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. Okay. Whatever you've done up to this point, guess what? Yesterday ended last night. That's what I know. And if you've been doing great up to this point, then guess what? Yesterday's home runs ain't going to win today's games. Okay. And if you haven't been doing great, guess what? Yesterday and last night doesn't make a difference. All that matters is it's a brand new day, brand new opportunity. It's a brand new chance. And if every day you give it all you got, and that's what we're going to do today. We're going to give it all that we got, and we give it all we got today. And we do absolutely our very best. Tomorrow, our absolute very best. And we just decide that every day we're going to give our absolute very best. We're going to take this business one day at a time, one opportunity at a time, one day at a time, one person at a time, inch by inch. I can promise you it's a cinch. Yard by yard is when it becomes hard. So let's lock arms right now. Let's go all out massive action. So make sure we get everybody on the call tonight. The rundown call is going to be next level. Major announcements, major excitement, major passion. This is the month. This is the time. Let's make it happen. Appreciate you guys' time. Love you guys. We'll see you guys at the top, and we're going to make it happen together. Thank you so much for your time, everybody. Hope this information served you.